Have you ever caught yourself believing that your real life is still waiting somewhere else? Maybe in another city, another job, another apartment, another relationship. You tell yourself that once this one big thing changes, everything inside you will finally become quiet. You'll wake up earlier, you'll feel motivated again. You'll become more social, more disciplined, more alive. And honestly, that thought can feel almost addictive, because imagining a new life is much easier than dealing with the one you already have. We've been sold this idea of the fresh start as if it's some kind of emotional reset button. Move somewhere new, leave the old job, cut people off, change your routine, and suddenly you become a different person. But I'm starting to think that's not how it works. You can change the view outside your window 1,000 times, but if nothing changes inside you, you're basically bringing the same confused person into a nicer room. That sounds harsh, maybe it is. But the part I can't understand is why the fantasy feels so convincing every single time. You start looking at apartments in another city, even though you're not seriously planning to move yet. You watch videos about what life is like there. You imagine the cafes you'll visit, the people you'll meet, the version of yourself who somehow has better posture and drinks coffee near a window every morning. And for a while, you actually feel better. Nothing has changed, but suddenly there's energy again. According to my theory, planning the escape gives us a small taste of the person we want to become. The brain reacts to possibility. The future is still clean because we haven't had time to ruin it yet. There are no boring Tuesdays in the fantasy. No laundry, no loneliness at midnight, no days where you waste 3 hours scrolling and then wonder why you feel empty. The imagined life contains all the exciting parts and none of the repetition. But then sometimes the change actually happens. You finally move, you finally quit, you finally get the job you were convinced would fix everything. At first, it works. The streets are unfamiliar, your brain is paying attention again. Even buying groceries feels strangely meaningful because you don't know where anything is. You feel like the old version of you has disappeared. Then a few weeks pass, maybe a few months. The streets become normal. The dream job becomes a job. The new apartment becomes the place where you leave dirty dishes in the sink. And slowly, almost quietly, the old feelings start coming back. The procrastination, the insecurity, the weird sadness you couldn't explain before. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because now you can't blame the old city anymore. Maybe the city wasn't the entire problem. Maybe the job wasn't the entire problem. Maybe some part of the unhappiness was traveling with you. I might be completely wrong, but I think we obsess over external change because external problems are easier to name. My job is making me miserable. This city is too small. I just need more money. Those things might be true, by the way. Sometimes the environment really is damaging. Sometimes leaving is absolutely the right choice. But even when that's true, there's still a question waiting underneath it. Who are you going to be when you arrive? Because a new environment can give you new opportunities, but it can't force you to use them. You can move to a city filled with interesting people and still stay inside every weekend. You can get a flexible job and still spend your free time feeling too tired to do anything. You can earn more money and somehow create more expensive problems. That's the strange thing. We don't just live in our surroundings. We live inside our patterns, and patterns are portable. Your fear of being judged doesn't care about your address. Your habit of avoiding difficult conversations can survive any career change. The voice telling you that you're not ready can follow you through airports, offices, and relationships without ever needing a ticket. But anyway, I'm not saying people should never change their lives. I'm saying maybe we expect the change to do too much. We want one decision to repair years of habits. We want a new beginning without having to become someone capable of maintaining it. And maybe that's the real trap. We keep telling ourselves we are one life change away from happiness, so we never have to ask what we could change today. Not in some dramatic way. Maybe it's something painfully small. Getting out of bed when you said you would. Going outside even when nobody is waiting for you. Doing the thing for 20 minutes instead of researching the perfect future where doing it will somehow feel easy. That kind of change isn't exciting. Nobody makes cinematic videos about answering the email you've avoided for 6 days. There's no dopamine rush in admitting that the same problem has appeared in 3 different situations, because you might be helping create it. But maybe real transformation is less like escaping and more like noticing. Noticing what you repeat, what you avoid, what story you keep telling yourself about why your life hasn't started yet. Because maybe your life isn't waiting in another city. Maybe it already started, and that's exactly what scares you. There might not be one magical decision that turns you into the person you imagined. There might only be small, uncomfortable choices repeated long enough that one day you look around and realize you actually did change. And maybe a fresh start is real, just not in the way we were promised. Maybe it doesn't begin when the plane lands, when the contract is signed, or when the boxes are unpacked. Maybe it begins the moment you stop asking which new life will save you and finally ask why you keep running from the person who has to live it.